Hey, everybody. My name's Ethan, and I'm here with Pastor Jerel, my friend, my best
Hey,
friend. What's up, man? How are you?
I am good.
We're
I am
actually in the
good.
same room right now.
Uh,
We're no, we're not. We're in
I've been
different.
in this room since last week.
Have
I
you?
haven't left.
Are you getting food? Are you eating?
Just under the door.
Your children are putting food under the door for you?
Why I said that. I don't have coronavirus, so
Don't
no.
either. Hey, well,
Hey,
we just wrapped up week 2 of our series, Searching for Something. You did a great job. This
thanks, man.
idea of searching for an experience. I think we're all searching for an experience, and recently that's changed, right? Due to the coronavirus, that our search for experiences in the world has changed. And you talked about a bit in the message about that, and I would love for you to expand just a little bit more. You say, due to the coronavirus and this quarantine, we aren't getting the experiences that we are used to.
Yeah, I think that what I was trying to say at the beginning of the talk was that one of the things we search for, and you set up last week really great, really well when you said we're searching for like identity is like who
Yeah,
we are, and we're also there's this illusion that if we have the right experiences in life that we'll be fulfilled, and so our culture is really set up that way, and it goes back to there was a book written called The Experience Economy back in the 90s, which where these two guys basically said, hey, we were in this the history of our economy is that we were in an agrarian economy where it's all about farming, and then we were a manufacturing economy, and then we were a service-based economy. And what they say is that now we're actually an experience-based economy, which means that we it's not good enough to just buy something. We want the experience around it. And one of the stories they tell is about like a baseball company like Rawlings, a baseball manufacturer who they don't just sell baseballs anymore. They'll sell baseballs that have um, like where you can throw it and you can record your speed, like your ball speed with your baseball. So it's more like an experience of not just a baseball, but it's got to be amped up. Or what I said in the message was like Starbucks.
yeah,
You like Starbucks? You
yeah.
don't like
I do.
Starbucks. It's
I do.
fine. It's no, you don't.
Should have not like Starbucks.
Do you? I don't like. I mean, I like Starbucks, all right, but like we buy a $5 cup of coffee or tea, and really what you're paying for, in a way, is the experience. The reason that Starbucks grew so much is that they were offering this experience of a cool place where you could hang out with cool people and drink coffee, and so a lot of us build our lives around experiences, thinking that I just have to have the next best one, and we actually feel insecure about that. Like if my neighbors or my kids don't have the experience that their neighbors are having, their friends are having, then I feel like a bad parent. If I
Sure.
don't if I don't have the vacation that someone else had, or that I can talk about the next day, then I feel like I'm not keeping up, and you get into this trap. But to your point, right now we're in this quarantine weird world where a lot of those experiences have been taken away,
Yeah.
and so I think that there's some insecurity around that for us.
I think that's why all these challenges have been going around, all these push-up challenges,
Have you been
and
participating in a lot of those push-up challenges?
maybe. I think people. It's almost look at me, look what I can achieve, look what I've experienced, even from my inside of my office, my house, my bedroom, my kitchen. I'm still doing all this stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think it's interesting that we spoke before about. I mean, colleges look at uh, students and they look at their experiences. What have you done? What have you accomplished? What is on your resume? What is on your application?
yeah.
And
That's
they
right.
compare the two, like, well, this kid didn't do that much, or this kid did. And I guess that translates into to the adult world where you're trying to get a job and you're trying to fill your resume full of life experiences, and it's a trap for sure. Can be for
Well,
sure.
well, and experiences aren't bad, right? Like it's okay, and it's actually they make life great. Having an amazing experience at the Grand Canyon, or just hiking, or doing something that you love is with your family, or it makes life an adventure, and it's fun. It's just that when we stop there and we don't discover who created us to have the experience, right? Like I want to have an emotional experience. A lot of us want to have an emotional experience without the God who created the emotions for us to enjoy that experience with. And so, when we do that, it's like if it's just about experience alone, then it gets really empty, and we kind of move in the wrong direction, and we can get a little lost. I was thinking about this. I didn't share this in the message for reasons that will become obvious.
So excited about this.
Actually, I just thought of this after I gave the talk. But when I was 13, like 13-year-old Jerel, who lived in 1985.
Oh yeah,
which is a great year. Like great music from that year.
5.
Great movies. Back to the Future.
Was that 85?
I think it was. Look it up. I could be wrong.
I was not alive in 85.
I don't care. Yes, you're young and awesome. It was in the era of Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
And
wait, did you wear a glove? Did you wear a white glove?
I did not, but I do remember walking through Belk's in Raleigh, and they had a mannequin, but it wasn't a mannequin. It was just a hand with a glove. And it was sitting on the table, and you could buy it. So we didn't buy that because that was like over the top. But yeah, my brother bought a shirt. Like he's 2 years older than me. He begged my parents to buy him this black and red Michael Jackson type shirt. And I was 13. I thought it was really cool. And so I thought, if I can wear this, I don't think I consciously thought this, right? But I was thinking, I'm going to wear this, and my friends are going to think that I'm really cool. And so I want to show it, what it kind of looked like to you.
I've not seen this, and I'm so excited to see it.
Are you excited? I think it looked kind of like this.
Wait, just to clarify, this is not a picture of you when you were 13. You do not have a tattoo.
I didn't have a tattoo when I was 13. But so I wore this shirt to school. I was in 7th grade. So whatever that was, I was in 7th grade. I wore this shirt to school feeling like, I don't know what, I was feeling cool. I was feeling awesome. Like just the experience of wearing this shirt, living in that world. And then this kid started making fun of me. And we ended up, like, he kept picking on me like all day long. He was laughing at my shirt.
Did you tell him to beat it? Get it?
And then
hey, Billie Jean, beat it.
Then we had a dance fight. And I slapped him with my diamond glove. And I won, and the whole school cheered. No, it was not.
School after you, Jerel Law Academy.
It was not like an episode of High School Musical. No, we got into it. We did get into a fight, though.
Oh, no.
So we were in this little courtyard, and I got really mad, and I like ran after him, and we started wrestling, and he like ripped my shirt.
Oh no.
And so I went from the beginning of the day feeling like this is going to be an experience that makes me really fulfilled and really cool in a 13-year-old world, to feeling really, really uncool. I'm going to stop sharing that right now.
Well, if you were to wear that today, I would not make fun of you. I would be your best friend.
You would.
We would still have a dance fight, though.
You would, but that's such a ridiculous story.
Well, the reality is, Jerel, I mean, I have a lifetime of similar stories, and they're not related to Michael Jackson. They're all related to Michael Jackson shirts. I have a closet full of Michael Jackson themed shirts. No,
Save that for the next episode.
Yeah, exactly. I think back to, to something as big as having a baby and holding my child in my arms for the first time, and this incredible experience that I know is going to change my life forever. But then I remember 2 months later, I had a 2-month-old, and maybe 2 weeks later, when you have a newborn, it's all like fuzzy and you're not sleeping a bunch. But I was driving to the store, and I looked down, and I had poop on my finger. And I was like, experience over. This is terrible. So
Oh,
even
God.
these incredible experiences, Grand Canyon, having a baby, your wedding day, they're amazing. But
Yes.
what you're saying is we want to be fulfilled forever with this experience, and you're saying that we can't find that here on earth in
Yeah.
earthly things.
I think the definition of experience is that there's a starting point and an ending point, right? Like that's the definition of an experience: is that it starts, it happens, and then it ends. And what I want to say, and this is just to draw the line here and to just underline this, I would say this: let's start to see experiences as not an ending point, but as a clue. An experience that I have that's amazing. Like when I go, and one of the questions I ask in the talk is, where are you when you where you've experienced God's presence the most? And I think a lot of people answer that question with something outside or somewhere in nature or somewhere where they feel like they're so much closer to God. And what I want to say is what I think the scriptures say too, is that these experiences are not bad, but they're a clue to God, to discovering who God is. And
Yeah,
that he's the one who's created. So they're more like a pointer on the road and not the end result, not the end of the journey, where a lot of us get trapped in, we get stuck in, I'm going to have these experiences in that I don't have it, so it's got to be better, and better and better. And that's on a negative, really negative point. Like when you're struggling with alcohol, there are, you got to drink more and more and more to have the same level of experience.
sure.
And so you're just trying to relive that high. But I think that God gives us these emotions, the experiences as a clue to say, hey, this is like a sort of a scavenger hunt. Like this is a clue to me, to point to
Yeah,
me. And I think that that's a really healthy way to see experience. Is I don't have to have them all. And when I do, it's going to end, and that's okay, because it really is to point me to God. And in fact, I talk about Paul in Romans and how he had this experience with Jesus on the road to Damascus, where it completely knocked him off of his horse. And it was this amazing spiritual low and high, because God was speaking to him. And yet he used that as a catapult into his relationship with Jesus, not to just seek more of those same experiences again. Well, let me go
sure.
have another one. It was, no, this is going to lead me towards intimacy with Christ, which is not always this high of an experience,
Sure.
but there's depth, and there's a level of depth that an experience alone can't get us to.
Yeah, that's great. So to kind of wrap us up, Gerald, what would you say to someone who's listening to this or watching this, who has filled their life full of experiences, and maybe this great experiences, and it's trips, maybe it's awesome restaurants, a great wedding day, a great family. Year after year, it keeps getting better and better, but they're finding insignificance. What would you say to them? You mentioned it pointing to God. What's their next step? What would their next step be from a person who's been a consumer of experiences to someone who's wanting to actually experience God, maybe for the
Yeah.
first time?
Yeah, I would say you're not on the wrong road. You just need to go a little further down the road. That's what I would say. And I think that if you listen to your soul, your soul is telling you every time you have an experience that ends and it gets empty, and you feel that emptiness, your soul is telling you, hey, I need God. I don't just need another experience, but I need God. I need more than just another thing that's gonna begin and end. And when I experience a relationship with God, like when I begin a relationship with God and invite him in, then I can see all my experiences in a better way. Like I can start to see them as, okay, God gave me this to enjoy for a period of time. And it's okay if I don't always have that high. It's okay if I don't always feel that feeling, because life is not about that. It's about way more than that. So I would say to that person, hey, you're really close.
Yeah,
And if you begin to see these experiences as a clue to point you forward to God, instead of just, I got to have a deeper, bigger, better experience. And just to tie it up with this, Paul says in Romans 11, he says, for from him and through him and for him are all things. And what he means is that, man, my life is not about me. It's not about me. It's about him. And when I begin to see it as about him, everything else makes sense.
I love that, because it seems like the experiences that I've been searching for in my entire life, and from what I hear from everyone or read from everyone, everyone's searching for an experience that kind of satisfies a need that they have. But what you're saying is this points us to, as Paul says, it points us to not to look at ourselves, but to look at God in those experiences. Pam Beasley says it best. she said, "I feel God in this Chili's tonight."
She did say that, and I also can tell you that this Michael Jackson shirt is on sale, and I can send you one if you'd like. It's still available. But,
Can you send me 7 so I can wear one per day?
I may still be able to realize that dream of mine.
I think we should all sign a petition. Anyone watching this should sign a petition that our first Sunday back in person at Love Like Norman, Jerel wears that Michael Jackson shirt.
There would be a lot of things I would probably do to get us back to meeting face to face.
But it has to be the same size that you wore in 1985.
An adult small.
Yes. Well, Jerel, thanks so much for a great message, and thanks for for chatting a little bit about it. And I am this has been such a great series so far, and it's all really based out of this book, Search for Significance. So if you haven't read that, guys, it's definitely worth a read. And we're searching for a lot of things as human beings, and this book covers why we're searching for it and connects it to the gospel and the solution that the gospel brings. So, Jerel, thanks so much, my friend.
Good stuff. Thanks, brother.
Thanks. Appreciate it.